What's happening, people? Welcome to this episode of Everything 9000. What's happening, Amrit?
I'm alright.
Yeah, we've got a story to talk about. You know, came out yesterday, Monday today. Came out Sunday. The Pogbas. Keeping up with the Pogbas. There's some issues going on there. Matthias Pogba, brother of Paul Pogba, he's played in the lower leagues in English football before. And he released a video, well, 4 videos in 4 different languages, making all sorts of claims about his brother Pogba. Obviously Paul Pogba, who played for Manchester United and is now at Juventus, saying that he's got loads of claims to make about him, explosive claims about, you know, things that Pogba's teammates, you know, from France should know about, things about Pogba's current agent, Pimenta, who is associate and close friend of the recently deceased Mino Raiola. You know, he's got claims to make about him. You know, all basically a lot of groundbreaking stuff, shocking stuff. And at the same time, Paul Pogba and his lawyers have released a statement saying that they're not surprised by this released by Matthias, and they're saying, you know, that he's been subject to you know, extortion by a gang. You know, for money in the region of £13 million. So there's a lot of, you know, shocking stuff going on. Stuff you wouldn't expect to see in the media. So what's your initial thoughts?
My initial thought is like, why is it all fucked up in France? Like literally everywhere. You had this whole thing, you know, when was it the 2010 World Cup?
Right.
The France team kind of broke down. I think it was the 2010 World Cup. And then the whole thing with Benzema blackmailing, what was his name? Valbuena, I think? His name was, that midfielder.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was some sex tape or something like that. And apparently, like, some of the gang members that were trying to extort money from Valbuena, got a word through Benzema in the France changing room saying, look, you know, you need to tell him to pay us. And apparently he said that, and that whole caused the controversy. And this thing with Pogba as well, like, it's just like, you would not expect that. Like, you know, you wouldn't really expect players to be involved in that kind of shit. So to me, it's absolutely baffling. It really is. Like, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. To be honest, like, you know, like the brother Matthias, is that what his name is?
Matthias Pogba, yeah. Well, he's got 2 brothers. This is one of the brothers. Yeah. He's
made all these claims. I don't know how, like, because all of this could be like, I don't know, it could be like a preempting, like rhetoric kind of threat. I think. I don't know if that's going to be true. Like, we'll see. One
of the claims that have come out is that, you know, I don't even know how to explain this, man, but it's that apparently Paul Pogba was sort of pressured to not reveal details about this whole thing, or if he did, Matthias, etc., would release facts about how Pogba hired a witch doctor to curse Kylian Mbappe. Obviously, a teammate of Paul Pogba in the French team.
And I think there's a. By the way, like Kylian Mbappe, he's like a different story himself. Like, you know, the most egocentric player you'll find. So like, if somebody does put a curse on him, like I you know, I'm not going to be too sad about that. To be fair,
this is some of the African juju, man. You know,
but you know, the African people genuinely tend to believe in that stuff.
They do.
So you know, so for them, like, it may seem like ludicrous to us. But for somebody from that kind of...
Africans genuinely believe that Guardiola will never win the Champions League because of what he did to Yaya Toure.
And Yaya Toure had put a curse on him or something, apparently.
Or I don't know if Yaya Toure did, but...
There's
some bad energy coming from that way, meaning that Guardiola's never going to win the Champions League. But there's loads of stories like this, man.
No, I know. But like, so, you know, as I said, it might sound ludicrous to us, like, you know, like the witch doctor and all that stuff. But, you know, people from like the African continent, a lot of them do genuinely believe in that stuff, right? Okay, yeah. And for them, it's real, right? And so, like, if like Pogba, right, you know, he's from that culture, obviously he's going to take that seriously, and like, you know, he's going to try and dispute that. Yeah, you know, like, would you even say, like, try and dispute something if somebody said, oh, you're putting a witch kind of spell on somebody else? You wouldn't even think twice about it. But for somebody from that kind of background and that kind of culture, for them, it's serious. In terms of Matthias Pogba, I don't know, like, what else will he reveal? Like, he says there's a lot of shocking things to reveal. Like, I mean, if the police is involved, is he really going to reveal anything? So I think that's more just like headline grabbing and perhaps just kind of like making things like easing pressure off Pogba a bit. So I don't see anything coming from him.
The narrative coming out from people that, you know, obviously support Pogba, etc., is that, you know, his brother's seen the lavish lifestyle that Pogba's, you know, been living. Obviously, he's one of the highest earners. He was one of the highest earners in the Premier League. He probably still is in the top 10 earners football-wise in the world. And, you know, with all the commercial deals that he gets. and they're saying that his brother's seen that lifestyle and he also wants to live the same lifestyle, and probably, is thinking, why have I not got this money?
No, I don't think it's that. I think the Pogba brothers are closer than that. As in, like, if you look at it, a lot of the players...
If they're that close, then why is he going after his money?
It's not... Is it Matthias that's going after his money?
Well, this is the whole thing. Loads of papers are coming up. Look.
It's not. Isn't it like... isn't it more like Matthias Pogba saying, look, my brother's been... they're trying to extort my brother. So that's what Pogba's saying. But then he's got a lot of other information on other people, which he wants to reveal. I don't think it's going to be putting Pogba in a bad light. It's more about putting other people in a bad light. So he's talking about Pimenta.
He's putting Pogba in a bad light. And Pogba released a statement saying he's not surprised by these claims by his brother Matthias.
Oh, as in...
There's brotherly problems here. This is what we're talking about.
Oh, damn.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
That just hit home. I thought this was Pogba making one statement.
No.
By Matthias saying...
I know this is the Mirror, right? This is the Mirror, but their headline is...
It's a tabloid paper, yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Paul Pogba claims brother and gang tried to extort him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Brother and gang.
Brother and gang.
Wow.
I.e. brother being part of gang. And therefore, that's why Matthias Pogba released all these videos yesterday.
I read a little bit about this.
This is what I'm saying. Did you not understand when I just said to you that he was threatening Pogba and saying, look, if you reveal details about this, we're going to tell people you got a witch doctor to put a curse on Mbappe.
But that curse obviously isn't working because Mbappe is actually not doing too bad.
But this is what I'm saying. This is all of the stuff coming out from this.
That's absolute madness.
Yeah.
Wow, it took me 6 minutes 44. It took me 6 minutes 44 seconds to finally clock on.
Pogba's statement, right, says this: Matthias Pogba's recent statements on social media are unfortunately no surprise. They are in addition to threats and group organised extortion attempts against Paul Pogba.
In addition, wow.
Yeah, the relevant authorities in Italy and France were contacted a month ago. There will be no further comments in relation to the ongoing investigation.
Wow. That is incredible. So you've got one...
Welcome to the podcast, Amrit. So what I'm saying to you now is, his brother's seen Pogba live this, lifestyle, this lavish lifestyle. He's like, I want some of this. And let's not forget, right, I think it was either 2021 or 2020 in June, Pogba was subject to a robbery in his house, whilst his children were in his house as well.
Oh, really?
Who's to say his brother wasn't a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just you kind of digging probably too deep in there. But there's been loads of robberies with footballers involved.
There was one with Aubameyang last night.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really care about Aman. But there's been a few high-profile footballers. Do you remember the one about Ashley Cole? That was pretty dangerous. I don't know if you read some of the trial when it was happening. So that's always been happening to footballers. I don't know how involved the brother would be in that, to be fair. But that's absolutely madness. That the fact that the brother is trying to blackmail Paul Pogba. I mean, I've always seen from social media. I've always seen over the past years that the Paul Pogba brothers seemed quite close, or all three of them.
Well, yeah, they're always seen dancing together, celebrating trophies together.
Yeah, exactly. All of those.
But do you reckon, as a brother, forget who they are, forget everything. At the end of the day, they're brothers. Brothers always have arguments, right? And imagine one brother is at the top, and they all play football. There's a direct comparison between what they do. What do you make of that element?
I mean, it's just probably pure jealousy, because if you are so close to somebody so successful and you're not in that position, obviously there's going to be that element of jealousy in the fact that, if you're playing football and Paul Pogba's playing football, right, and you're playing as a midfielder, and I'm pretty sure the other guy is a midfielder too, he played in the lower leagues in England. Yeah. There is a direct comparison, isn't there, as you said? Yeah. So there is that element of jealousy, but I don't know how far, because a lot of these footballers, they're brothers, and so a lot of elite sportsmen, especially with their brothers and fathers, they tend to be quite close involved in their affairs for contracts, as agents and all that, right? Managing their finances. Yeah. So obviously in this case it seems not to be the case. And if you're going to be margining, I don't know how. As I said, so I find it surprising, because I've always seen on social media, when you look at the Paul Pogba page and all that, Instagram and all that, right, you always see the brothers together. So to the normal eye, it seemed like they're quite close. And this whole blackmail thing seems inconceivable. So it is a bit messed up, but I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know if Paul Pogba's brother Matthias is going to follow up with anything else. That's probably more headline graphic. You know what I mean? So I doubt there's going to be anything off this going forward.
Matthias played for Wrexham, Crewe Alexandra, and Partick Thistle.
Yeah, it's not really that great.
Yeah,
I mean it's on the edge of being a professional footballer, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, another dead media page, obviously they're not on Cloud 9000 level, Sportskeeda. Their headline is Juventus star Paul Pogba informs police that brother Matthias Pogba is part of 13 million blackmail attempt.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, Paul Pogba.
I just wanted to make sure I had that right after you not catching on, made sure. No, but that is the situation, man, and it's messed up.
It is messed up. To be fair, that you know when you're so close to that obscene amount, like look, Paul Pogba obviously has a bit obscene amount of money, right?
Obscene, man. He was on what 600k at United. Even if tax is taken 250, 300k of that, that's a lot of money a week.
That's a lot of money. On top of that, he'll probably have a bonus, but I doubt he got many bonuses at United because he.
But you know, for you, does this excuse any of his, you know, the problem? You know, these problems that footballers have.
Yeah.
He's a person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Does this help excuse why he maybe didn't reach some of the heights he should have reached at United?
I mean, there's obviously some element of personal problems going on. You could probably see the stuff. But it also comes down to the player himself, how they lead. They have to lead a certain life.
Did you watch the documentary about him?
No, I haven't.
I watched some of it. It's called Pogmentary.
Yeah.
but
I was gonna say I read an article on it. It was like rated really low, so I didn't bother watching.
Generally speaking, Pogba seems like a very happy person. He tries to keep happy, good energy. Obviously, he said himself in the documentary, I watched it, he said he gets quite down when he loses a game, etc. Obviously, all footballers say the same thing. But, generally speaking, he seemed like quite a happy, good energy person. I don't know, maybe something like this, it has to affect you, man.
It has to affect you, but then I think it also comes down to the kind of life you lead. Like, Paul Pogba and Neymar, both of them lead quite chaotic lives if you look at it. Generally when you look in the news and stuff. And those kind of players, once they pass 30, 31, 32, that's the end of their careers. You compare that to somebody like Ronaldo, for example, right? Yeah, or even like Messi. Messi's never been in the news. He's had that tax evasion thing, right? Yeah, but that's just nothing too eccentric. And even if you look at footballers like Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, they're family men. They get on with their job. You never ever see them on the front page. You always see them on the back page of the sport, like a newspaper. If you're leading a chaotic life, I mean, it is going to catch up to you. And I think Ronaldinho was the same. He was leading quite a chaotic life. I mean, he was probably one of the best footballers ever, so naturally gifted. But come 31, come 32, his career was down the gutter, really, wasn't it? And that's where I see them both going. And I think it's not entirely. I don't know how me and you can never probably know how long this stuff's been going on, how long this problem between the brothers have been going on. Obviously, there's a problem there, but I don't know if it's entirely due to that Pogba's been so bad over the last few years for United.
You know what made me laugh? I saw a meme, Graham Souness again. He's like, you have to ask, where was Paul Pogba in all of this?
Graham Souness is a dinosaur, man. I don't know how my man gets jobs still. On Sky, on TalkSport. It's just crazy. But he's always been a Paul Pogba hater. But with Paul Pogba, I don't. The question you asked is whether this has probably impacted it, but I doubt it's been going on for the last 5 years. It's more so leading on from the kind of life he's led.
Yeah.
We're not to say anything the life he should lead. If he's got that money, he's it's his prerogative to live the way he wants. But generally speaking, if that's going to impact you on the pitch,
these French footballers, man.
Yeah, honestly,
you obviously said Benzema.
Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy.
Kurt Zuma with the cat.
Remember Patrice Evra, the French players leaving the World Cup. I'm pretty sure it was 2010 or was it 2014 in Brazil that they all started being sent home. There was a huge fight broke out between the camp. Have a look, it must have been 2014 or 2010. And there's always been issues with the French team, man. Even Benzema thing was huge because he actually didn't play for France for a very long time, for a decade.
Yeah, he didn't.
And in between that, he missed out on the World Cup.
Yeah, obviously there was the Anelka problems.
Oh yeah, Anelka. There's been loads of controversial plays from that.
Zidane headbutt, but
that was more on the pitch. Yeah, I think that was more pure passion at that time.
I couldn't find that. We'll find that anyway. But yeah, I mean, I thought we'd just get a quick word on the Pogba situation.
Well, it's one to watch, isn't it? I think it's a bit too early to talk about it at the moment, but it's one to watch, definitely, I think, to keep an eye on that story where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't think much will come off it.
We'll see.
These sort of things, they don't really come out in public. I mean, this whole thing with Matthias Pogba, it seems a bit silly, to be fair, him making those stories and stuff. It's probably just to grab headlines as he has.
Okay, well, that's all from us today. Catch us soon.